If you have 700 million naira today to invest in the Lagos real estate market, what would you buy? Would you buy a beautiful 4-bedroom, fully detached duplex in Omole Phase 1, or would you buy multiple units of studio apartments in Yaba, Lagos? I want you to drop your choices on the comment section below. But the truth is, most Nigerians would definitely choose duplex because of what we have been taught for years. Most people want big house, big gates, big compound, big status. But here is a question that nobody actually asks. Which of these properties makes more money, duplex or apartment? Today, I'm going to share a perspective that will challenge the way you look at real estate investment. And before anyone misunderstands me, let me say this from the beginning. I am not against buying a house. In fact, if you're buying a duplex for your family, for your comfort, for your lifestyle, or for your primary residence, there is nothing wrong with that. It is perfectly okay. If your goal is investment and cash flow, then you need to think differently. On this channel, we discuss real estate opportunities, market trends, and strategies that can help you to make wise real estate decisions. So don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and turn on the bell notification. Let's dive straight into the video. One thing I have noticed that most people confuses lifestyle purchases with investment purchases. What you need to understand that these two things are two different things. I will explain in this video. If you buy a Mercedes-Benz because you love driving it, that's a lifestyle decision. But if you buy a commercial vehicle because it generates you daily income, that is an investment decision. These same principles also apply in real estate. A lot of people buy luxury duplexes and call it investment. But these luxury duplexes, is it really an investment or really an expensive asset? That's actually the question you need to ask yourself. Let me give you a real example of what I'm talking about. I'm going to use Omole Phase 1 here in Lagos as a case study. Today, a 4-bedroom, fully detached duplex can cost you around 700 million at Omole Phase 1. A beautiful house, good environment, prime location, excellent road network, and strong residential appealing location. Let's assume you buy this property in Omole Phase 1 strictly for investment purposes, not for personal use. The average annual rent in that location, remember we are still using Omole Phase 1, is around 20 to 25 million. But let's use 25 million as a case study. That means your 700 million naira investment is producing you approximately 25 million naira on a yearly rent. Now ask yourself, if you're earning 25 million naira every single year on annual rent, how long will it take you for you to earn your investment money from your yearly rental income? Many investors never stop calculating this because all they see is a beautiful house and they actually assume it's actually a good investment. One thing you need to understand about investment, it is about numbers, not emotion. Now, don't get me wrong, there will always be a demand for quality duplexes, and there are people looking for duplexes as well. How many people can afford them? Let's think about Lagos. Who can comfortably pay 20 to 25 million annually on yearly rent? Of course, the market exists, but they are very small. But if you compare it to people looking for studio apartments, 1-bedroom apartments, and 2-bedroom apartments, the difference is massive and the demand pool is much larger. And that is what smart investors pay attention to. They don't just look at properties, they ask themselves, who needs this property? This is where apartments makes all the difference. Let's use the same 700 million naira if you want to use that same amount to acquire units of apartments here in Lagos. Instead of using that 700 million to buy one duplex, using that same capital to buy multiple studio apartments. Let's think about locations like Yaba. Yaba is not just another area in Lagos. Yaba has become one of the most residential and commercial hubs in the Lagos mainland. In Yaba, we have Unilag, Yaba tech companies, startups, business owners, corporate professionals, consultants, and so many other persons coming to Lagos for work. All these people that I'm mentioning need accommodation, not mansion. Accommodation is actually an important distinction. This may actually sound controversial, but hear me out. Most people don't rent status, they rent convenience. People rent proximity to work, people rent comfort, people rent access, and most importantly, people rent location. A software engineer working in Yaba doesn't necessarily need 4-bedroom duplex. A consultant visiting Lagos for a few days doesn't need a mansion. What they actually need is a clean, secure, and comfortable apartment in the right location. This is where the opportunity lies for investors like you. Let's use a simple illustration so you can actually understand what I'm trying to say. One studio apartment can generate up to 5 million naira annually on rental income. Imagine you own multiple units of this apartment. The income potential is much larger than owning a single duplex. The key point isn't the exact figure, but the most important thing is understanding demand. Multiple apartments gives you multiple sources of income. This is why investors like to diversify their investment portfolios into investing in an apartment. And if you want to buy an apartment today, I have a beautiful apartment located in Yaba and Surulere. This is where we have studio apartments, 1-bedroom apartment, and 2-bedroom apartment. Just give me a call. We can actually book a private viewing, or we can actually secure a virtual inspection if you are not in Lagos. Look at what is happening in Lagos. Population is growing. Young professionals keep entering the workforce. Businesses continue to expand. People are relocating. This is making housing demand so high. And this is what many developers are missing. They are only building for just 5% of the population, building luxurious houses in Lekki, Victoria Island, Banana Island, and Ikoyi. And there is nothing wrong with that, but nobody is actually looking at where the demand is, which is the young population of Nigeria, because 70% of Nigerians are below the age of 35. One of the reasons I tell investors to pay attention to Yaba is because of demand. In Yaba, there are students, there are lecturers, there are working professionals, there are tech consultants, there are business owners, medical professionals, remote workers, and corporate executives. Very few locations on the Lagos mainline combine all these people, but Yaba has it all. I want to make this very clear. If your dream is to own a luxury duplex for your family, go for it. I'm saying this because a family home is not just about money. It's a lifestyle, comfort, pride, security, memory, and all of these things are very valuable. But when we are talking strictly on investment, we need to remove emotions and focus on performance. As an investor, if you want to invest in rental property, you need to ask yourself these questions. Who needs this property? How large is the demand? How easy can I find tenants? What problem does this property solve? And lastly, how many people can afford it? These 5 questions matters because real estate is not just about building. It's about people, and people drive the demand. I strongly believe that the next decade would define housing, not just luxury mansion, but housing that people need. Young population is growing, urbanization is increasing, people need places to live, and investors who understand this trend early will benefit greatly from it. This is one of the major reasons why I spend a lot of time studying apartments, rental demand, and housing pattern on the Lagos mainland. So the question is, should you buy duplex? Absolutely, if it's for your family, your comfort, and your primary residence. But if your primary goal is investment, then ask a different question. What type of property has the strongest demand and the greatest potential to serve the housing need in a growing city? That's actually the question every investor should be thinking about. I would like to hear your opinion. If you have 700 million naira today, would you buy a duplex for investment or a unit of apartment for investment? Drop your answers in the comment section below. And if you'd like to learn more about apartments, studio apartment, 1-bedroom apartment, and 2-bedroom apartment, feel free to reach out to me today. Let's get you connected. I have apartments in locations like Yaba and Surulere that can actually make you money on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification.